Welcome to the weekly Zohar class. Welcome. Uh, every week we have this connection class. We call it connection because it's not only knowledge, it's not only wisdom, because we feel better, we feel this energy, we feel this transformation of who we were yesterday and who we are becoming today. So we are connecting to this awesome energy, connecting to the Creator. This week portion called Vaethanan. Vaethanan is in the meaning of Moshe is pleading, is praying to the Creator. As we know the story of the Torah, we are right before entering the land of Israel. And as we know, God told Moshe, you won't make it to Israel. So it seems like Moshe is pleading, he's praying for the Creator to let him enter Israel. The whole concept of tefillah, the whole concept of prayer, the secret is within this portion. You know, we maybe pray on a daily basis, we pray on a weekly basis. Honestly, do we know what we are doing? You know, what is praying? Does it have any effect in my life? Does it have effect on anybody else's life if I pray? We've been praying for years. Did some of our prayers came true? What about those ones that they didn't come true? What does it take to pray? What does it take for my prayer to become a reality? How can I change my destiny? Do I have a chance to change my destiny? So, the story of the Torah, you know, in an orthodox way, they've always told us that Moshe got punished. We know that such a thing doesn't exist in spirituality. Can you believe, is it possible that such a huge leader, he done so much for us? He sacrificed his life. He done so much for us. For just one little act of hitting a stone, he's going to be banned, punished from entering Israel? That doesn't make sense, and that's not the true story. There is a huge reason why Moshe didn't enter Israel. It's because we have to do the job. It's like a father that can raise the child up to 18. After 18, you're on your own. But the father gives something, gives a lot from himself to the children. So first I want to cover that story, that it's not about him being punished. There is a much bigger reason behind it. And the reason he was pleading, the reason he was praying for us, for Am Yisrael. And his prayer become true, his prayer become achieved. So we want to learn what he did, what he done in order for our prayer to come true. So that's the subject of the class, prayer, and how can it be effective, and how can I use prayer to change my destiny, to change my decree, what is written for me. But before we're going to get there, I want to talk about 9th of Av. I know it's behind us, and we're all glad that it's behind us. But since our class was on Thursday and 9th of Av was Tuesday, in those few days I learned few more lessons that I really want to share it with you guys, and I want it to be on the record. It's a life-changing lesson. You know, 9th of Av is such a huge event in our calendar. This is the only day the calendar is all black. And we talked a lot about 9th of Av in the last class. I hope you remember, or you go back and learn the lesson, listen to it again. But I learned that it's by design. There is a design that there must be a day of sadness in our life. You know, we have, Baruch Hashem, so many Mu'adim, we have so many Shabbatot, so many good events, Bar Mitzvahs, Brit Milah, weddings. Why the Creator? Why by design there is like one sad day? And we know that in our practice there is no depression, there is no over sadness. In Farsi we say Qam, Ya Subwari, we don't have those things. But in Hebrew they call it Tsar. Tsar. Tsar in the best translation is sadness. What kind of a sadness we are talking about? What is this sadness of 9th of Av? It's the sadness of separation. There is a sadness in separation. We all experienced, we loved somebody in our life. We loved, I hope our parents going to live until 120. We loved our grandparents. We love our parents. But some of them, they're not with us anymore. So there is a sadness in our life that got created because of a separation, because of a space, distance between us and a loved one. And if you want to take it bigger, it's a day of sadness, how far I am from my Creator, how far I am from Almighty. So this sadness of separation, I mean, our Father, our Creator loved us so much that give us only one day of sadness. But it's a good reminder, you know, how far am I from my loved ones? How far am I from my parents, children, friends, family? How far am I from my friends, from my teacher? How far am I from my Creator? So we have such a wonderful calendar, you know, a lot of food, a lot of dancing, a lot of happiness. By design, we want to remind us, you know, look how far you are from your loved ones. One of the reasons that we visit the cemetery, because the cemetery is somebody that we don't have anymore. There is a disconnection, there is a distance. So that was a small mind, small conscious that passed on to us through the generation. But as a Kabbalah student, we don't think that small anymore. It's not only I miss my dad or I miss my grandpa. I have to feel I miss all my loved ones. There is a space, there is a separation. And I want to close that gap. I want to destroy that separation. And more further than that, how can I eliminate separation in the future? How can I eliminate separation in the future from my loved ones? Whatever happened in the past, you know, I'm going to try my best to correct it. You know, close that gap, eliminate that space from the loved one. How can I eliminate it from the future to happen? What a smart move. You know, how can I correct myself not to disappoint anybody? How can I correct myself not to create a distance and get mad, you know, at somebody that's going to create separation? Be jealous of somebody. Be hateful of somebody. So 9th of, traditionally, I know it's about our Bet HaMikdash, but as of today, as a Kabbalah student, how can I change my life to better? I need to eliminate any space between me and the loved ones. And be aware, be cautious, be extremely careful not to create new separations, not to create a new distance between me and loved ones. You know, there is a subject, the Zohar is so talking behind this world, behind this planet, behind this, our understanding. It's so complicated, it's so huge. But there is one section in the Zohar talking about family members. It's like came down to very, very individual, came down to very particular subject. So the Zohar talks about jealousy among immediate family. Can you imagine Zohar's talking about the Creator, talking about the DNA of the Creator, talking about how all these things works together, all of a sudden the Zohar talks about jealousy among immediate family, brothers, sisters, mothers, uncles, cousins. And the Zohar give us a warning that you are in charge, you are responsible not to create that space, that hate, that jealousy among friends, among immediate family, children, brothers, sisters. So we all have children, we all have brothers and sisters, and like the Zohar says, jealousy is a fact. So we learned that night of Av is to eliminate distance, eliminate separation. So I have to plan, I have to design my life, we have to design our future of the children. Who gets what, or how much attention each one gets. We're going to live until 120. What's going to happen after we're going to depart from this world? So we are responsible to talk about these things. We're responsible to write it down. We're responsible to do whatever it takes to eliminate separation between our among our children in the future. It's right in the Zohar, not this week's Zohar, but I'm going to find it and I'm going to remind you. If you have a business partner, if you have any kind of a partnership among friends or immediate family, everything have to be on honesty. Anything have to be on the fair. Anything have to be on emet. So we're going to eliminate this potential of separation, potential of distance. We are responsible for it. Any, I heard it many times. A lot of leaders in our community always remind us, plan your future, make it very clear how you divide. Actually, it's I read it in one spiritual reading also. You have to make sure that you divide your state, evenly, correctly, whatever everybody's agreed on. So we don't create separation. You can fast on night on Av, you can cry, you can sit on the floor, you can read the tefillah a million times. But honestly, if we don't create unity, if we don't destroy this separation, if we don't eliminate the jealousy and the fight and the argument and the hate among ourselves, we haven't done nothing. So watch out, be aware, plan. Your business, your affairs, your properties, your estate, whatever is with agreement with everybody to eliminate this hatred, this separation among our siblings. If you remember last week we spoke about one way. We've been always talking about Lashon Hara, evil speech, how harmful it is, how destructive it is for ourselves and for other people. Last week we spoke about sight. You remember how our sight affects our being and other people also. We said our sight, our seeing, is the most powerful part of body we have. We hear something, we confirm it with our eyes. We taste something, we have to confirm it with our eyes. We smell something, we have to confirm it. We touch something, we have to confirm it with our eyes. So in Kabbalah, we say it's all about consciousness, it's all about your mind, but who makes your consciousness and who makes your mind, or who gives it the right direction or the wrong direction, is our eyes. And we learn how to have a good eye, how to have an Ain Tova. See everything is good. If I don't see good, it's my wrong limited perception, because like God says at the beginning of the creation, everything He made is good. Who are you, who we are to go against the Creator's creation? Says, no, this is not good, I don't like this situation, I don't like that situation. The process is difficult, the process is painful, but in the end it's going to be good. So there is a trick with sight, there is a trick with seeing. Okay, I just opened this horrible email, I didn't know what's in it. Is it going to affect me? Or is it going to affect my sight? Or I saw ugliness, or I saw a horrible thing. Is it going to affect of who I am? So, in Hebrew language, it's amazing, it's so beautiful. There is 3 stages into seeing something. So, obviously we love to look at goodness, we love to look at beautiful things. But what about if I get a bad email, a bad text, or I see a bad situation, or I hear a bad thing? So in seeing, there is 3 levels. The first level is in Hebrew called tzitz. It's like a glimpse. It's like a fraction of a second. I saw a bad email. I saw a bad picture. So I don't have no control on that. You know, you see an accident. You see an ugly situation. It's not in my control. It just fell into my lap. So the first is the glimpse for 1 second or fraction of a second. The second level of seeing is to give an opinion or give an idea. That takes like another few seconds. Oh, that guy is ugly, or this lady, she's like this, or look how sick he is, or whatever. So on the second side, in Hebrew they call it habata, you have already opinion, you already have a feeling about that situation. And the third one is reya, is like you all get involved into it. You already made the engagement, it's already part of you. In Kabbalah language they said you own it. You own it already, it's yours, it's part of your consciousness. So if I see an ugly act at the first second, maybe I can turn my, if it's an emergency situation and I need to help out, yeah, of course I help out. But if it's not related to me and it's only going to damage me, if something I see on TV or as an email, as a text, so the first second I have to shut it down. I don't want it to enter into my system. Because if I go to the second level and the third, if I go to the second level, it's already affecting my emotions. It's going to ruin my day. You know, we all experience, we see an accident in the morning or bad news in Fox, all day we are down because we already put our emotion with it. And the third level is like you own it, it's yours forever. That ugliness, that horrible image, that negative scenario, you own it for life. It's going to be part of your consciousness.
Yes, forever.
Yes. You don't remember something, you know, the revolution of Iran, we're never going to forget those ugliness. So,
True.
if you look at it for too long, you own it, it's yours. And our goal is positive, happy, elevated, energy, goodness. But if I keep entering into my system negativity, if I keep entering bad news, horribles, what ISIS did, what's happening in Syria, or if this is my life, then you're going to own all that energy. You're going to own all those images. It's going to be hacked into our consciousness, and we're going to own it for forever. And it's going to affect our goodness and happiness. We cannot be in a negative environment and be happy, you know. So, and we talk about separation, we talk about jealousy among family members. So it's have to do with our sight, it have to do with our speech. The right language, the right future sighting, the right awareness. That if I see the future, if I see the relationship, if I say the right thing, so I'm going to eliminate separation. So just to summarize it, the ninth of Av was for separation, sadness of separation between us and loved ones, the sadness of separation between me and my Creator, and the way to eliminate that distance, the way to eliminate that sadness, good speech, good eyesight, speak good, lashon tov, good language, and ayn tova, and good eyes. We're gonna move on to the lesson of the class. Like we said, this is Vaethanan. By the way, the numerical value is equal to tefillah, means prayer. So, what is prayer? You know, how can I pray in order to change my destiny to better? In order to change the decree on me? Moshe gave us the best tool. Moshe gave us the most amazing tool. Moshe, when he prayed to the Creator, he didn't say, look, God, I've been with these people for 4 years in a desert. They tried to kill me. They badmouth me. They rebel against me. I sacrificed my life. I didn't have no good times, no good relationship. I didn't enjoy my wife. He didn't mention I went to Egypt, I fight the Pharaoh. He didn't mention none of those things. You know what Moshe says? You know, you can read it in the Torah. He says, oh God, you know, you're so amazing. I don't deserve all the goodness you gave me. Can you imagine? Do you know anybody else in this planet that would be entitled of anything more than Moshe? You know how much he did for us. But he didn't came to the Creator, said, I did this, I did so much, I did this. Now please, you know, give me what I want. Moshe came and he says, you know, everything you gave me was wonderful. I'm not worthy even of what you gave me. I'm not entitled of what you gave me. I'm so blessed from all the goodness you did to me. Read it in the books. It's even if you translate it in a Farsi in English, you're going to read those words. So, the number one rule that Moshe is giving us is not to think that we are entitled of anything. I give $100 tzedakah, now I'm going to go pray for, I don't know, my son going to go to university. It doesn't work that way. It's not, but what you do is by appreciation of how wonderful our life is now, how much goodness there we have in our life right now. And Moshe, by saying this prayer, right after what he said, he says, I'm not worthy of all the goodness you gave me, right away he gets his gift. The Torah says that Moshe, it's a big lesson in Kabbalah that there is a spark of Moshe in all of us. All of us, all the 600,000 souls together, we are Moshe. So the decree, the destiny of Moshe was not to enter Israel. But the Torah right away in the first Pesukim says, Vaethaber. Vaethaber means Moshe become a ibur, become like a fetus, like a spark. And he, through us, he entered Israel. So there's a spark of Moshe in all of us. That's why we like him. Everybody loves Moshe so much. He's our teacher. You know, there is a spark of him within all of us. So he didn't enter in a physicality, in a body, but he entered Israel with us, you know, within all of us. So he was able to change his destiny by saying this particular tefillah. Now there is a question. There is in Hebrew they call it otzar matnat chinam. There is two reserved blessings, two reserved gifts in the upper world. Storage. There is two different kind of a storage of blessing of barakah in the spiritual world. One of them is earned gifts. The other one is unearned gifts. Earned gifts means I give $100 tzedakah, so I earn something. Means I volunteer, then I earn something. I had some guests in my house, I feed them, then I earn something, and earn a reward. So my question to you is, which one is in a higher level? The earned gifts or the unearned gifts? I don't know if I'm clear enough or not.
Explain it.
Which one is unearned?
Earned gift is like I done something, I made a mitzvah, I did a goodness, I give a tzedakah, I volunteer, I earned something among my Creator. Unearned gift, it means I haven't done anything for it. I haven't, earned it. So which one is higher, the earned gift or the unearned gifts?
The unearned.
The unearned.
Unearned gifts.
Yeah,
Thank you
else
very
you have.
much. There is so much I can do in a lifetime. Maybe I can give a $10,000, $100,000 tzedakah the most. Maybe I can help 10, 20 people in my life. Maybe I can volunteer once a week. So it doesn't matter what I do, it's still going to be very limited. But at the same time, there is another warehouse, there is another storage that is unlimited. All the blessings, all the goodness of the Creator is within that warehouse. So when I want to pray, do I want to connect to the earned or do I want to connect to the unearned? Thank you very much. So we want to connect to the unearned. If I start my prayer, oh, look at me, this week I did so much goodness, I opened the door, I give tzedakah, I light the candle, I had guests, I baked the challah, I done all the mitzvot. Do you want to connect to that or you want to connect to the unlimited? Because most of the things that we are doing is given. We are not doing favor to anybody. It's our job to do those things. It's our responsibility. But I want to connect to the unearned. I want to connect to this limitless, unlimited. I remember in one of the other classes, he used to say, God forbid, there is a challenge in our life, challenge of healing. We can't keep praying for healing. 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years. Don't pray just for healing. Pray for everything. We don't know what the plan is. You don't know what my future is waiting for. So maybe, I don't know, I pray for marriage, I pray for sustenance, I pray for happiness, I pray for success. Through those I can get to my healing that I'm looking for. So when we want to pray, we don't want to be entitled of nothing. We don't want to negotiate with the Creator. We don't want to do business with the Creator. Look how good I was in this past week. Look how good I was in the past month and year. Now give me what I want. This is the wrong approach. Moshe had all the entitlements in the world, but he didn't use it. So definitely us, we are so small, we cannot be entitled of anything. So the first rule of prayer is, I'm not entitled of anything. I don't deserve anything. Honestly, what you gave me is more and behind my imagination or what I deserve. I don't want you to think like I'm a miserable, I'm a victim. No, we are not going in that direction. We are not miserable, we are not zero. That's not the spirituality. is, like Suzuki says, we are humble. We want a lot. We want everything. As a Kabbalah student, we ask for everything. But coming from the point that I'm not entitled of it, I haven't done anything to earn it. You know, I always love this example of parents and children. It's so beautiful and it makes so much sense. You know, if our children come and keep bugging us, I done my homework, now give me money. I clean my room, buy me a car. You know, we know it doesn't work that way. You know, you do good, you do your responsibilities, you're humble about it, you're full of love, you're full of care, you're full of attention, you know, to your parents. And it's not coming from the entitlement. It's coming from, you know, love and unity. And, you know, when a child comes to you like that, you know, with humbleness, with love and unity, and you've done so much for me, and I honestly don't deserve it, I appreciate you guys bring me to the world, I appreciate every moment of my life, you're gonna do everything in your hands and more for them. But if they keep bugging you, I done this, give me this, I done that, give me that, you know, you're gonna run away from it. This is exactly our relationship with the Creator. Unity, love, kindness, humbleness, appreciate every single thing, good and bad in your life, and then you can connect to that unlimited warehouse of gifts. And let's talk about more about prayer. You know, last week we talked about Ari, so we're going to continue talking about Ari. Ari has a famous saying. He says, if you come to pray with sadness, you're wasting your time. Don't even bother to pray. It's not going to do any good to you. This is from Ari HaKadosh. You know, if you come and pray with sadness, you're wasting your time. The only way to pray is with happiness. You know, you always come to me on Shabbat. I tell them, first of all, have a smile. With no smile, we're not going to get anywhere. Yeah. So, with sadness, with complaining, with hate, with anger, with judgment, you know, you come to pray, you're wasting your time. You know, we use the word entitlement. You know, we cannot come to pray with entitlement. What is entitlement? Entitlement is when I'm angry. I'm angry because I think I deserve better. Entitlement is hate, is jealousy, is not being fulfilled, not being happy, not being satisfied, complaining all the time. So anytime you come to pray with any of those feelings, it's not going to work. You're wasting your time. So coming to pray, coming to the process of praying, you have to be with the pure heart, with the lev tahor, pure heart. Happiness, joy, pure heart. What is the characteristic of light? You know, when we are praying, obviously we are asking for light, we are asking for blessing. What is the characteristic of blessing? It's goodness, joy, happiness, love. So how you want to attract something like that when you're hateful, when you're angry? It's not going to come to you. So, you know, when it comes to Shabbat, yeah, we shut down the phone, we shut down the TV, we shut down the hate and anger and complaining and jealousy. So that's what we need to shut down. You know, through the traditions, they told us to shut down certain things, but they meant shutting down the consciousness from all those negativities. All what we do in the 6 days. If you look through the history of prayer and tefillah, when we had the Bet HaMikdash 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, there was no need for tefillah. All the Jews had to go to Jerusalem 3 times a year. That's what I had to do. Shavuot, Kippur, and Sukkot. There was no Bet Knesset, there was no synagogue in Israel when we had the Bet HaMikdash. So the synagogues, the temple, the Kenisa starts building right after the destruction of the Bet HaMikdash. And they were scattered and they didn't know what to do. There was no such a thing as prayer. Guess who come up with the prayer books, with the Sidurim? Ari HaKadosh in the 1500s, 500 years ago. All the Lecha Dodi, all the prayers, the 18, Shmonais, everything we pray is from Ari and his associates from 500 years ago. And I know we have this concept of coming and praying to God, praying to the Creator. This is not the language of the Sidurim. This is not the language of the Tefillah. I wish for you guys to speak fluently Hebrew to understand the Tefillah. It's not praising God. It's not how good you are and how big you are. Yes, there is some part of it. But Tefillah is, in a Kabbalistic language, is a teshuvah, is making a teshuvah, changing yourself. Tefillah is purifying yourself, changing your ways. If you read the Tefillah, it says, stop believing in death, at the very first beginning, Mechayem Etim. Stop believing to the end. Stop believing into death. He's talking about Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. You know, he's talking about Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet. He's talking about don't have an evil speech. Constantly he says love each other, be united with each other. We went through the Tefillah one time. It's all about changing yourself. Changing yourself to better. Transforming yourself to better. Elevating your consciousness. Feeling better. Doing better. The Tefillah is amazing. It's all, I pay attention on Shabbatot. It's all about us. How can I become a better person? How I can purify myself? How can I cleanse myself? Enough to the hate, enough to the anger, enough to competition. And one way to reach that point, believing in your Creator, believing in your purpose in life. Believing that there is a reason you go through the challenges. So, in reality, tefillah or prayer is for you. Nobody's up there is waiting for your tefillah. Nobody's expecting you to do it. It's just for you. It's a system for you to, first of all, come on Shabbatot, let go. You remember the lesson of let go? Let go of all this craziness, let go of what I do in the 6 days, let my body rejuvenate, let my consciousness to rejuvenate. So it's the tefillah is a reminder. You know, we have class once a week. You know, maybe you listen to it twice a week. Tefillah is constant reminder. What is my purpose? What direction should I take? Separate good and bad. Separate the evil. Separate, eliminate the distance. Eliminate all the, feeling the sadness of I'm separated from my loved ones. After Shabbat prayer, some reason, we all feel good. If you had a challenge, if you had an issue with somebody, all of a sudden it doesn't feel that bad anymore. But then Monday it starts all over again. So, because some things ignite into us, when we go through the prayer, when we see the Torah, when we go through those holy language, the goodness within us become awakened. So the prayers, one more time, zero entitlement. I'm not entitled of anything. I have more than I can even ask for or can imagine. But I can do better, I want to reach my potential, I want this energy, I want this power, I want this blessing so I can keep growing and doing better and better. That's the consciousness of the prayer. No entitlement, pure heart, goodness, happiness. Promise ourselves, don't go back to our old ways. But at the same time, when we keep saying, I don't deserve it, I'm humble, that doesn't mean that we don't ask for things. We have to remove the entitlement, but still think huge, think big. I'm not entitled of anything, but please bring peace to the land of Israel, bring peace to the whole world. I'm not entitled of anything, but I need my healing to provide to my family. I'm not entitled of anything, but I want to do goodness, to this world. I'm very limited in how much I can do. What about praying for other people? So we learn praying for ourselves is with no entitlement. I haven't done anything. I really don't deserve anything. But I want to do good. I'm changing myself. I'm purifying myself. I'm doing the teshuvah. I'm putting away all the badness, all the negativities. I want to do goodness. So I need your help. That's for self. What about praying for others? Do we have any effect on other people? Everybody has their own tikkun. Everybody has their own process. How can we affect anybody else's correction? How can we affect anybody else's tikkun? We learn that there is a purpose, there is a reason for every challenge, for every issue in our life. So how can somebody else help us, pray for us and change? How can do we have the power to change somebody else's destiny? So when we pray for ourselves, I have to be pure. I have to be the same way like the Creator if I want His attention. I have to act like a light in order to receive the light, right? The light won't come to a dark place. It's going to come only to a good and joyful and happy place, like its character. So what about praying for somebody else? So there is this rule in Kabbalah that we have to be the channel. We have to be the channel of light. We cannot save it for ourselves. We cannot keep the blessing to ourselves. Are you sure?
50 minutes.
Oh, 15.
5 minutes to 50 minutes.
Okay. So one of the characteristics of light is to be a channel. So praying for somebody else does work because you are becoming the channel of the light. You are becoming a channel of goodness. The characteristic of the light is that it goes to good places, it goes to pure, happy place like the light. The other characteristic of light is to be channeled to somebody else. So we definitely can affect other people's destiny. Maybe we won't see it. I mean, we have such a limited consciousness. We come here on Shabbat morning, we pray for somebody. We want by Shabbat afternoon to take effect. It doesn't work that way. Maybe it takes longer. Maybe it takes 10 years. Maybe it takes 20 years. Maybe our prayer is going to affect the reincarnation of that person in the next guild. We don't know. We don't know. So we are obligated to pray for other people. We can have an effect on other people. But again, if we only pray for somebody's healing, maybe the Creator doesn't want to give him healing. Maybe they have a job to do. Maybe they have a purpose. We learn usually if there is a challenge in healing because they want to awake you to bring goodness to that issue among everybody, not only for yourself. Maybe you're going to be the reason to bring healing to 10, 20, 100 other people that they have this issue. So maybe by giving healing to that person, you're going to keep another 100 people sick. So we don't know what that person needs exactly, but we can pray, we can send them light and blessing in all aspects of their life. What kind of a prayer works for other people? What kind of a prayer works for me? If I say it loud, if I say it 10 times, if I say the words one by one, what about if I don't speak Hebrew? What about if I don't know the words? Is it about the words? Is it about the language? According to the Kabbalists, it's all have to do with your heart. It's all have to do with your heart. Live your heart. If you pray for somebody with your heart, you have a chance to have an effect on that person. If you just read it, we don't know. But prayer for ourselves and other people is only by heart. Only by heart. What does it mean by heart? Is to feel that person. To put yourself in their place. To not just doing them a favor, not just, okay, I'm going to go to Kenisa and say a prayer for them. No. Feel with your heart for those people. Have tears for them. The Zohar says tears open all the gates of the blessings, but not tears of sadness and tears of poor me. Tears of I want to help. Tears of I'm so small and limited. I need your help so I can do change, do goodness for myself and others. So the prayer that works for me and others is only by heart. If you feel it in your heart, if you made a promise, if you want to change yourself, it comes only from the heart. Praying with the consciousness, with the mind doesn't work. If we pray just to show everybody I'm praying and act like I'm praying, doesn't work. Praise is only from the heart. Feeling for myself and feeling for others. We have to put ourselves in their situation. I'm 100% feeling their pain. I'm 100% feeling what they go through. And with my good heart, with my good intention, I want to send them a prayer. What else? What else work? The numerical value, by the way, this Torah portion, we have the 10 Commandments again for the second time. And we also have Shema Israel. So the numerical value for the word Torah is 611. But we have 613 mitzvot. So the Torah is supposed to be complete, is the guideline, is the blueprint of the universe. So if you have 613 mitzvot, what's the other two? What's missing? The Zohar says the other two are missing is the love of God and fear of God. By the way, we're going to have a practice after the class. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a fun practice. So let's read from the Zohar, and then we know what it's talking about. When I pray, when I want my prayer to work for myself and others, I have to add the love of God and the fear of God to my consciousness in order for my prayer to work. So we are in book 43, on the top of the page. I'm going to read the English. Valejun, wait another second. I want you to listen to this sentence. So we are in book number 22, page 43. We are reading from the top of the English. And I want you to mark the last sentence. Moshe now says that it is commandment to love. He tells us that whoever loves, God maintains 10 saying and passes 10 tests. We hear about great love and everlasting love, and that the two are one without division. Pay attention to this sentence. The faithful shepherd, which is Moshe, asserts that love surpasses every other kind of worship there is in the whole world. I repeat it again. This is the Zohar HaKadosh. The faithful shepherd, Moshe, asserts that love surpasses every other kind of worship there is in the whole world. You want to pray 6 times a day, you want to pray upside down, you want to pray in Jerusalem, you want to pray in Ariya Kadosh, you want to fast, you want to light a candle. You can do any practice you want, is wonderful. But the Zohar HaKadosh says, love surpasses any kind of prayer. If you want to pray for yourself, do it with love. Love your life. Love the Creator. Love all the creatives. You want to send prayer to somebody else? Do you really love that person from the heart? And from self-experience and from all my study, when you truly love somebody with the heart, you can do miracles for other people, for them. If you truly love somebody from the heart, love with no entitlement, no love with no intentions, you can do miracles. You can change their destiny. So let's read from the Aramaic to be the channel and to bring that love to ourselves. So we are one more time, book number 22, page 43, number 69. Pekuda la'ahava. Ahava means love. V'ha ukimana rachamu dekucha b'rechu. Deba'ei benun l'rachma leya rachimu sageda ka'avraham. דרכים לאה לקדושה בריחו, בכמה רחימו, במסר גופייה ונפשייה לגביה, מכאן ולפינה מען דרכים לאה לקדושה בריחו, אייהו מקיים עושר אמירן אליו ותחה, ועד כל עינון 10 ניסיוני נשא אברהם, וקיים בכולהו לקבל 10 אמירן, כל ניסיונו אמירה היא, ונשא בהוא אמירה וקיים ביד. It is a commandment to love. We explained that the love for the Holy One, blessed be He, means that the man should love Him with great love, as did Abraham, who loved the Holy One, blessed be He, with a great love and risked his body and soul for His sake. From this we derive that whoever loves the Holy One, blessed be He, maintain 10 sayings, namely 10 sefirot, above and below. Hence, all these 10 tests Abraham underwent and withstood correspond to the 10 sayings, since every test is one saying, namely one sefirah, and he was tested by that saying and withstood it. What's the Zohar says? He says Abraham, he went through 10 most difficult tests for us, not for him. Abraham known to be the chariot of chesed, for love. So the Zohar is telling us, you want to have love in your life, you have to study the 10 sefirot. We don't have to go through the test anymore like Abraham did. Abraham had to go through 10 painful tests. One of them was that he had to sacrifice his own son in order to show that he has love within him. Baruch Hashem, he did the hard work for us. We don't have to go through those tests anymore. So by studying the 10 Sefirot, this is what we do here in every class. We don't have to go through the test anymore. If I practice Malchut, Yesod, Hod, Netzach, Tiferet, Gevurah, Chesed, Binah, Chokmah, Keter, I'm already past those tests. So I can reach the full love practice without going through the test. And the other aspect we said was love of God, the other one was yirah, fear of God. Fear of God, as we explained, the Zohar explains, is not the traditional fear of God, it's fear of making a mistake. Fear of making a mistake. Fear of not reaching your potential. Fear of not doing the right thing. Fear of not making the right choice. So first, the two missing precepts, the two missing mitzvah, the two tools that can make my prayer work for me and for others is having love of God and fear of God. Love of God is love everything and everybody within myself and within my life and in this planet, everything that is the creative of the Creator. And fear of God is fear of making a mistake. Constantly I have to be aware. Am I making a right choice? Did I say the right thing? Did I offend somebody? Did I hurt somebody? What is the right thing to do? What is the wrong thing to do? Am I wishing good for other people? Am I wishing bad for other people? Am I using people for my own selfish desires? That's wrong. Taking advantage of people, not being concerned about other people's needs. So fear of God is not sitting home and being afraid of the Almighty. It's fear of I'm making a wrong choice, making a mistake, choosing bad over good, choosing wrong over right. And I think we reached the time, right? The last point about praying for somebody else is we always say that if somebody asks you for something, you have to do it for them, or you have to give it to them, as long as it's reasonable. If somebody asks you to pray for them, you pray for them. We don't know, if they deserve it, they don't deserve it. We don't know what their destiny is. We don't know what their decree is. It's not our business. It's not my mind that have to make a decision to pray for somebody or not to pray somebody. It's my heart. If it's on your plate, somebody asks you for a prayer, you do it for them. I think we have reached the 1 hour. Thank you very much. It was wonderful. See you next week. Okay.